We'll continue to stay with its subjects because we're joined via Zoom by lawyer and former NDC Member of Parliament for Tamale Central, the Honorable Inusah Fuseini, to help us discuss this matter a bit further. Grateful to you, Honorable, for joining us. The Chief Justice says she's not been given copies of the petitions that were submitted to the committee. Does this not raise legitimate concerns of breach of natural justice?
Well, the Chief Justice responded to some petitions that were submitted to her upon request. What petitions were they?
From the presidency, not the ones that were given to the committee.
Well, are they two different petitions?
But she says that she's unable to tell.
Well, the Chief Justice requested for the petitions that were filed against her, raising issues touching and concerning Article 1461 of the Constitution. She demanded and received copies of the petitions and responded to them in detail. My understanding is that the committee's activities center around the petitions that were received and her responses. I do not know what other petition she's talking about.
Okay, she's also raised concerns about the venue for the committee sitting. She says it's intimidating. This is a security zone and it's meant to intimidate her.
But that's a public office. It is not anybody's private residence. That's a public office maintained by public resources. It's just like the law courts. They intimidate people. But that's where the justice is delivered when we are going through the legal process, the court processes. And so, yes, it can be intimidating, but that's a public place where the activity ought to take place, and it's taken place. That's a public place. I mean, there are officers there. People are working there. I mean, this emotional appeal is neither here nor there. It's a public place. And lastly, it is not within the right of the Chief Justice to determine where the petition against her should be heard. She has no such right.
I mean, you talk about emotional appeal and that she's trying to invoke some emotions and trying to court public sympathy. Is there anything wrong with that if that's what she's doing?
But that Article 146 is not about public sympathy, is it about? It's about availing yourselves and challenging the grounds upon which the petitions have been submitted. Do they disclose any case of incompetence or stated misbehavior or infirmity of body and mind? Incompetence in terms of your duty as a judge, as well as your duty as an administrator, because you are the Chief Justice. And so it is for her to answer to the petitions. And if she successfully answers to the petition, I'm sure the justices of the Superior Court of Judicature, who are members of the committee, and then the 3 other Ghanaians who are on the committee will see that she's discharge herself from the allegations raised against her. If she fails, they make a recommendation. I mean, this whole process is a process sanctioned by the Constitution. And there's no any other process that is amenable to the removal of a justice of the Superior Court of Judicature unless the process comes under Article 146. So we must get it right. And Article 146, and I always go back to the history of Article 146. It is not for nothing that Article 146 has been said to be heard, to be proceedings which ought to be heard in camera. Because in 1969, the drafters of the Constitution came to the conclusion that they wanted to insulate the removal process against partisan political activities. And so that was why they thought of a judicial tribunal consisting of judges and non-judges. That's why they did not recommend that the process should go to Parliament. I mean, in the United Kingdom, the process for the removal of a justice of the Superior Court of Judicature is in Parliament. In the United States, it's in Parliament, it's in Congress. But the drafters of the 1969 Constitution said, no, we should not make it partisan. In fact, I decry the attempt by Chief Justice and others to make this matter partisan. It's not a partisan process.
All right, Honorable Inusah Fuseini, I'm grateful to you. Thank you for joining us. Honorable Inusah Fuseini is a former member of parliament for Tamale Central on the ticket of the NDC and a lawyer.